There we go. All right. So here's the question. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Go ahead and write it down if you don't have it. It says consider the function y is equal to x cubed and y is equal to x cubed minus 3. Sketch the graph and compare of the pair of functions using a standard window. Describe the transformation used to obtain blah blah blah. So they want you to do x cubed. Okay, so there's x cubed, this kind of function, and there's that one. Nothing is done with that one. But they want you to, I guess they want you to draw the second one, which is got a -3 vertical shift. So let's find the vertical shift. Vertical shift is -3. And hit enter. And that should be the answer. Yep. Choose the correct transformation below. Horizontal vertical shift 3 units down.
And
now
Mr.
the reason, yes.
I was just going to ask, do you know how to do cube root on a calculator?
To the 1/3 power.
Okay, yeah.
Remember, exponent over index. Hold on just a second and I'll show you how the best way to remember that. Let me move all this stuff over. It's got too much. And move this over. There. Okay, remember, when you're dealing with vertical and horizontal shifts, remember that the number has to be tied in with the x. If you have x cubed minus 3, this number is not tied into the x because it's not within the parentheses raised to the 3rd power. It's outside the 3rd power. Okay? If you have this, x minus 4, quantity cubed minus 3, then you have something within the parentheses. If it's connected to the x within the parentheses, then it's called a horizontal shift. And then this is the vertical shift. And that's the one thing that students forget when they're doing a test or whatever, or when they're doing these homework problems. They think this is the horizontal shift. The horizontal shift is connected to the x right here. It's usually within the parentheses. I say the parentheses, but it's within the actual function, where the vertical shift is outside the function. Okay, so remember that. As far as your question goes, just remember this. The square root of x to the 1st power is equal to x to the 1/2 power. And this is exponent over what? Index. Exponent over index. So if you have the 3rd root of x to the 2nd power, that's equal to x to the 2/3. If you have the 5th root of x to the 1st power, then that's x to the 1/5. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
There's math.
Yeah.
okay? So does that help?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right. Next question. This is 4.1, 39/15. 4.1, 39 in the book, number 15 online. Determine algebraically whether the graph of the following graph is symmetric with respect to the x-axis, the y-axis, or the origin. Confirm graphically. All right, first of all, what does this one look like? Is it a parabola? Is it a straight line? Is it absolute value? What is it?
Parabola.
Parabola, exactly, because it's x squared or y squared. Okay? Now, it's backwards. Okay? So that means that you have not a parabola, but you have a parabolic shape, but it's laying down on the side, like that. Okay? All right, when you've got x is equal to y cubed or y squared, it's going to look like that. All right? So, in this function, you've got x is equal to 3y squared minus 4. So, plug in your numbers, and y is going to be your input this time. So y is equal to, we'll do 0, 1, and 2, negative 1, and negative 2. So negative 1, or negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is what? 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. Negative 1 squared is 1 times 3. 3 minus 4 is what? Negative 1. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 1 times 3 is 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And 2 squared is 4 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12 minus 4 is positive 8. So, graphing your hyperbola, you've got 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and negative 2. 1, 2. And then you've got 8 and 2. 1, 2. You've got negative 1 and negative 1. So we've got negative 1 in the x direction and negative 1 in the y direction. You got negative 1 and positive 1. And then you got negative 4 and 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, which one is this symmetric around? Is it symmetric around the x-axis or the y-axis?
X.
X-axis. It's symmetric around the x-axis. Okay? Now, algebraically, how do you tell that? Well, plug in negative 1. Use, well, no, that's not that well. You just do it graphically. Okay? That's why it says whether the graph, because you don't do it algebraically because it's backwards. Okay? So remember, if you have y is equal to x squared, you have a parabola. If you have x is equal to y squared, you have a parabola turned on its what? Side. It's called a hyperbola. Are y'all like paying attention or what?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I'm just wondering. I mean, you got 2 or 3 people with their head down and 2 or 3 people looking down.
Watching.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not wasting my time here.
Oh, I got the homework up on my lap.
Oh, okay. All right. Just want to make sure. So it should be around the x-axis. There it is. There's a green star right there. Now, if it was around the origin, it would look like this. That's around the origin because your pivot point is the origin. All right? If it was around the y-axis, it would be a parabola. That's symmetric around the y-axis. Okay? All right, next question. .1 4.169/25. All right, the number of cellular subscribers in millions can be modeled by the following expression, blah, 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 blah. Let me move this thing out of the way. Everything's moving in front of the board. There we go. All right. There's the actual function. So write that function down. That's S of t is equal to 0.000435 t to the 4.204 power. So S of t, it says the number of cellular subscribers in millions can be multiplied by blah, 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 where t is the number of years after 1980. T is equal to the number of years after 1980. Okay? The first says use the model to find the number of subscribers in 2000. Well, what's 1980 minus 2000?
20.
Or 2000 minus 1980? 20. So that's going to be, so A is equal to S of 2000 is equal to 0.000435 times 20 to the 4.204 power. And you take your handy dandy calculator and you do that. So let's pull up our handy dandy calculator. Oh Lord, go away. This thing nervous. That. Y'all get your calculators out while I navigate through all this stuff. Things I do for y'all. All right. There we go. So we're going to take 0.00, that's not supposed to be there, 35, there we go. 0.00435, 0.000435 times, parentheses, 20 raised to the 4.204 power. And enter. 128. So I'd assume that's 128 million. It says I'd probably round up because you can't have 0.23 of a phone. So it's probably gonna. Yep. Okay, they want you to round to the nearest one place, so that'd be 128.2. Okay? Says the new model C of t with t equal to the number of years after 1988. Okay? After 1988. So after 1988, you're going to add 8 what?
8t.
You're going to add 8 years to your function. Okay? Now, if you're adding it to your function, that means it's going to be a horizontal shift to the left. Okay? But that really don't matter. All you got to remember is if it was 2000, then you'd add 20 years. Okay? If it was, let's see, 1984 would be 4 years. But in this case, they're saying 1988. 1988, you got to add 8 years to your function. So that means instead of t, it's going to be t plus what? Should be t plus 8.
It is.
And then have t plus 8 raised to the 4.204 power. What value of t should be used to determine the number of subscribers in 2000? Well, we talked about that. $2,000 would be 20, would it not?
Using the new function.
Huh?
Like use the new function to do it.
Oh, then it would be 12. because the 8 plus 2 is 12. In other words, t plus 8 is equal to 2,000 or 20. So that's why the answer is 12. And the reason a lot of people get that wrong is because they really didn't ask the question correctly. What they should say is, using the formula for 1988, what would be the number for 2000? And you would plug in 12. That C part is not written correctly. All right? Does the value of C of t agree with the answer to part A? Well, yes. That's a stupid question. I don't understand why they would even ask that. Does the value of C of t agree with the answer to part A? That would be yes. If you're going to give me a formula that gives me the number of phones, and I use the formula, then that should give me the number of phones. Should it not? So I would say A and B are very good questions. C and D suck. Okay? As far as a test question, C and D suck, because they're very ambiguous. Well, C is not ambiguous. C is just assuming that you're using B as the formula, which you've got two formulas. You've got A and then you've got B. So they should say in C whether you're using formula A or formula B. Okay? That's all that's wrong with C. That last question, that's almost like, if you have two blue eyes, what color are your eyes? You're not going to say green. So that last question, don't be too hard on yourself if you get that wrong, because that last question is kind of not a stupid question. It's just irrelevant. Okay? Don't feel too bad about that one. Okay, next question. Next question, 4.3, moving up in the world. 4.3, number 51 in the book, number 24 online. There's the question. The function that converts the dollars of country A to the dollars of country B, according to January 19, 2008 values, is f of x is equal to 0.99282x. Is the number of dollars of country A, and f of x is the number of dollars of country B. Okay? So x is the dollars for A, and f of x is the dollars for what? Dollars for B. They're probably going to want to do the inverse. Yep, find the inverse function. So what do you do first? First of all, you're going to change f of x into what? Y. 0.99282x. Now what? Switch what?
X and Y.
Switch x and y. And solve for what? Solve for y, Hubert. That's right, class. 0.99282. So y inverse is equal to x over 0.99282. So right here you type in x divided by 0.99282. And you feel good about yourself. All right, so what does this do? Well, go back here. What is x? X is the dollars what? For A.
Country B. No. Oh, yeah, X is, excuse me.
Yeah, for A. And this is the dollars for B. So now the dollars for A is input. It's input, and basically here, the dollars for A is your domain. And this is dollars for B is your what? Range. Now what's happening down here? It's the opposite. Okay? Your range is equal to the dollars for B, the dollars for A. This is your range, and this is going to be your domain. So this is going to convert dollars for B, dollars for A into dollars for B, or something like that. Okay? Go back up to the top. Go up here and read what this one does. The function that converts dollars of country A to dollars of country B. So what will the inverse do? The opposite.
Exact opposite.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Good. So you're converting the dollars of country B to the dollars of country what? A. So it's either going to be B or C.
It's B to A.
Huh?
It's dollars in country B to dollars in country A. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, that would be right. Because this has got pounds. Pounds, what the heck's pounds? We don't live in England. Okay? So we're talking about, it doesn't say anything about pounds up here either. So I would say B. And we feel good about ourselves. Oh my God, I hate these 3-part questions. 5-part, 16-part questions.
There was one in the inverse section that was like 22 parts.
You are kidding me. Well, I hope I didn't put that on the test. If I did, I'm going to take it off. Use F and F of 1 to determine the money a person would have if he takes $300 to country B to country A, converts it to country A, doesn't spend any, and then converts it back to country B. Okay?
That's however much you had in the beginning.
Would it not be?
Yeah, it is.
It should be $300, right?
Yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. Okay, I hope that's the last question. Yeah. Okay. What's good test questions? This one and this one. This one is busy work. Okay? That's no worth some of these guys. Some of these people that ask these questions in the homework are probably not teachers. They're probably just teaching assistants or something. All right, 4.3, 47/22. 47 in the book, 22 online. Same type question. All right, so let's look at this one. Using data from 2009 to 2015, the percent of households with internet access in a certain region can be modeled by the function f of x is equal to 52.369 x to the 1/60th power, 0.1/60th power, with x equal to the number of years, x equals number of years after 2005. Okay? Find the formula for the inverse function. So y is equal to 52.369 x to the 0.160 power. X is equal to 52.369 y to the 0.160 power.
What number did you say this was? Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Hold on, let me go backwards.
I suck, I'm sorry.
I know. I said it like 5 times. 47/22. Okay, you back with the program now? All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take that hat off to probably hear better. I like yellow. Yellow's my favorite color. I just don't like stocking hats. I never did. Even when I was a kid, I'd go out in the middle of the snow or ice and I'd put a baseball cap on. I cannot stand those caps. I can't stand them. Anyway, me wearing them. I don't mean I can't stand your hat. But anyway. All right, divide by 52.369 52.369, 52.369, and that's going to be x over 52.369 is equal to y to the 0.160th power. Now what happens when you want to get rid of if you want to get rid of square, you take the what?
Square root.
And if you want to get rid of the 0.160th power, you take the
1/60th root.
0.160th root. Now, if you want to change this, you'd say to the 1 over 0.160th power, or 0.160. If you want to raise it to that power, that's fine. That's what I'm going to do. So that takes that out, and you get y is equal to x over 52.369 raised to the 1 over 0.160 power. Now that's what I would get, but I'm not typing that in because it's too aggravating. I'm just going to type in 3 and then let it answer it. I'm not typing all that in. Okay, what?
Yeah, I was super confused right here.
Okay, now
Yeah,
I'm confused. I have no idea what they did.
When you do like the help me solve this thing, it just tells you like to divide it by 1 and it makes no sense.
Yeah, it like gets numbers out of nowhere.
Let me look and see what they say because we've got the 1/60th power, but I have no idea what they did. I divided both sides by 52. I don't understand. Oh, I bet I know. No, it doesn't have a parenthesis, right? Somebody take 52.369 and raise it to the 0.160 power and see what you get.
I got 1.8838.
No, that's not it. I thought that they forgot parentheses at the beginning, like right here. And you're supposed to raise 52 to the 0.16, but that's not it. Let me see what they did because I have no idea what they did. I've never seen something go from 52 to 0.1019. I've never seen that before. X is equal to y. And then they should divide by 56,236.
Yeah, right there, I get super confused.
Oh. All right, take 1. I know what they're doing. We've got the same answer they do. We've got the same answer. Okay? This is the same answer. Notice I have a fraction right here. You see my fraction? Put a 1 right there. Now take 1 and divide it by 52.369. There, that's where you get it.
Okay.
That's where you get it. They're just we've got the same answer they have. I'll take that answer, or I'll take that. I was just surprised to see that 0.019. I was like, where'd that come from? But what they're doing is they're taking 1 and dividing it and putting it beside the x right here, and then raising it to the 1 over 0.160 power. There, that's what they're doing. They're changing this and putting it in there. That's all they're doing. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Now, take 15 and plug it in. Now, where are you going to plug it in? Well, now wait a minute. They want you to take f of 15. So that means take 15, plug it into the original equation, then take that number and plug it into your inverse equation. That's what that says right there. So you're going to take 15 and plug it in here. So f of 15 is equal to 52.369 times 15 to the 0.160 power. So take 15, take your handy dandy calculator, and we're going to take 15 and raise it to the 0.160 power and multiply that by 52.369. 52.369. That gives you 80.769. Stow, and I'm just going to stow it in alpha A. I'm going to put 80.7 dot 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 equals 80.7 dot dot dot. Now what are we going to do with that 80.7?
Plug it into our new equation.
Plug it into this one because that's what f of right here, f of -1 parentheses f of 15. That f of 15 means that you plugged it into the original. Now that's what it means. Now whether they want you to do that or not, I don't know, but that's what that means. So we're going to take that and plug it in. So I'm going to say alpha A divided by what? 52.369. 52.369 equals, and I'm going to raise that to the parentheses 1 divided by 0.160 and close parentheses, and that's equal to 15. So your final answer should be 15 for that B part. So type it in, 15, and you feel good about yourself. Now what happens, this is what students do. When they see this, they plug 15 into what? This formula right here. But that's not what it means. It would say, if that's what it meant, it would say this. It would say f -1 of 15 is equal to that. But that's not what it says. It says f of -1 with f of 15 plugged in. And that means plug it into the original, then plug it into the inverse. Okay? So hopefully that helps you on that one. And most of I think about 3 or 4 of these are on the test. Now the couple of questions that are stupid, I hope they're not on the test. Anyway, we'll look. I don't know if we'll have enough time, but we'll look. I'm trying to get through as fast as I can. Next one, 4.3, 47/22. I think we just did that one, didn't we?
Yeah.
4.3, 45/21. One right beside it. I'm waiting. Hello? Okay, the volume of a sphere is blah, 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 where x is the radius of the sphere in inches. Is this a one-to-one function? Graph it. Graph it and then do your horizontal line test. So take your handy-dandy calculator.
It's one-to-one.
You can use 3.14 if you want to. You can use 3.14 or you can just type in pi. So take your handy-dandy calculator. Get it out of the way so you can see something. And y is equal to 4/3. I'm going to put that in parentheses. 4 divided by 3, parentheses, times pi. Where's pi on this thing?
Up arrow. Second up arrow.
Second up arrow, I'm looking.
Under clear.
Above the division sign.
That's the caret symbol. That's not an up arrow.
Whatever.
Okay. Don't get the terms right. Just spout them out. That's
It
fine.
looks like an up arrow to me.
Okay. All right. No comment. We'll use the up arrow now. And cube function and hit graph. So what's the consensus? Now you got to be careful. Be careful here because there may be hidden behavior down here. So what I would do is zoom and let's see if zoom standard works. Nope. So go in here, zoom box. I use zoom box. Some of y'all use window. That's fine. But I'm going to go in here. You got to check because sometimes these cubic functions can have a max and a min. And if that's true, then it's not a one-to-one function. So, oh shoot. Zoom box. I'm sorry. Just hold on. I messed up.
So,
And enter. Okay, so you got to be careful because you still, if there is 2 points right here that are matching, then it doesn't work. So I'm going to go zoom in, and I'm just going to go right in the middle and pull it up one more time maybe. See that? So I would say it still can't tell. Zoom in. This might be one you need to do algebraically. Okay? Because you're not being able to tell by zooming in. Now what you also can do is go to table. Go to table and see if your function, if there's anywhere you're getting 2 y's. Look at there. 4.19 negative 4 point what? 19, Hubert. Yes, class. 33.51, 33.51. So this is not a one-to-one function. Oh, it is.
Mr. Hugh.
Wait a minute. That's not right. You can't have a one-to-one function.
go right on the
What?
into like the Y thing, and it'll give you a bigger actual the actual number, and they probably differ just a tiny little bit.
Well, okay. Well, let's go to the second table set and change it to 0.1 and enter and go to second table. And then you got to go and go to 0. As soon as you get to 0, hold on. Okay, so it doesn't. Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay. Technically, are these two numbers the same? No. But that right there is splitting what? That's splitting hairs. The reason they say it's not is because these two numbers are different. 0.0042 is different from 0.00419. But what do they both round to?
0.0042.
Exactly. So this is not a good example to use for this one. Anyway, what was your question? You were fixing to ask me something.
Me?
You said Mr. Hubert. Yeah.
No, I said Mr. Hubert because you got it wrong.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think I got it wrong. I think that's a stupid question.
Can I say that next time I get a test question wrong?
Well, if you challenge it, yeah. And
All right.
I'll probably end up giving you points on this one because that is ridiculous. I mean, look at these two. 0.3351 against 0.335. what they're trying to get you to see is that the numbers are close. They're very close, but they're different. And so if they're different, then
Look at
you
point
don't have
3. Point 1, 1, 3, 1. Both of them match.
I know. So technically, is that question correct? No, I don't think it is. I think this question is incorrect. I think it is a one-to-one function. I mean, it's not a one-to-one function. Anyway, find the inverse of the function. So if we find the inverse of the function, let me move the thing out of the way. Hold on. Here we go. Y is equal to 4/3 pi x cubed. So x is equal to 4/3 pi y cubed. First thing I'm going to do is multiply by 3/4 on both sides. 3x over 4 is equal to pi third divided by pi over 1. So y to the third is equal to 3x over 4 times 1 over pi. So y to the third is equal to 3x over what? 4 pi. And y inverse is equal to the cube root of 3x over 4 pi. So the cube root, put you a cube, well, it won't let me.
Just click answer.
3, yeah. Cube root of 3x over 4 pi. I think that's what I got. What are the domain and range of this inverse function in the context of the application? That basically says, what's the domain and range of this function compared to the previous function? Well, the previous function is all real numbers, both what? On the range and the domain. Okay, so if you was to graph this, it should be all real numbers because you can take the cube root of what? You can take the cube root of a negative. So, I don't know. It says, I would say the domain is all real numbers. But, of course, they're not doing that. They say that the domain is less than 0. So, let's graph it. So, go to the handy-dandy graphing calculator. And we're going to raise all that to the 1/3 power because I don't feel like typing all that in. So, y is equal to... And I'm just going to, there's that function. We'll do this function in dark color. And that's going to be 3x parentheses 3x divided by 4 pi raised, use the up arrow to the parentheses 1/3 power and graph. And we got to hit zoom standard because I got it all out of kilter a while ago. Hold on a minute. Alright, zoom standard. There's your function there. And here's your function here. And again, the domain is equal to all real numbers. The range is equal to all real numbers. So I don't understand what they're asking. What are the domain and range of this inverse function? All real numbers. Okay, wait a minute. The domain of the original function, x is less than, and the range is f less than. The domain is greater, the range is greater. The domain is less, the range is greater. Okay, it's not that one. It's not that one.
It's greater and greater. Yeah, I think it's B.
I think it's B also, but I don't agree with the question. How could this inverse function be used? Okay, well, what the volume of a sphere is blank, where x is the radius. So this would be figuring the radius, calculates the radius from its volume. It's going to be the opposite. Oh my God. What is the radius of a sphere if its volume is 65? Okay, y'all can punch that in a calculator. Somebody punch that in a calculator and tell me what you get.
That was my only problem. I couldn't punch it in.
Okay. All right, well, here we go. Take 65. Wait a minute, clear this. 65, 450, and wait a minute. The volume of a sphere. Okay, so we got to put it in the original. What is the radius? No, we got to put it in the f of x. Okay, I'm sorry. 3 times 65,000 divided by 4 pi. So parentheses are 3 times 65, 450. 65, 450 is equal to that divided by 4 second up arrow, and then take the cube root of it, which is raised to the 1/3 power. I got 53.63. It says round to the nearest whole number, so that would be 54. So 54 inches should be your answer.
Nope.
Well, I have no idea what the answer is then. I just put it in there. What did they get? 25. I'll try it again.
Hey, Mr. Hubert, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can you extend the homework due date to Wednesday, because I didn't see it on the assignments until Wednesday?
Let me finish this problem. 3 times 65, 450. 65, 450 equals, divide by 4 pi. I don't understand how I could get the formula right and then take the cube root of that. 1 divided by 3. I have no idea why that was wrong, because did we not get the formula right here? Thought we did.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy.
Unless
You have to divide by 2 to get a radius.
well, it says right here the radius up here still wouldn't be correct. I'm going to have to figure that out. I don't know why that one's that way. Hold on a second. Let's see what they say on view an example, because we got the correct. Let me see what they say.
What?
Okay, let me go ahead. I got 3 minutes. If y'all need to leave, go ahead and leave, because the moving around and the packing up stuff is really rude. Okay? All right, y'all done? Thank you.
That's a lot of parts on that question.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's examples, but still.
Okay, is that not what I have? I have that for y.
Yes,
I mean,
it is.
hold on.
It is.
That's what I've got. Now, they say plug in. I'm waiting for them to plug in something. They got 124,000. 124,000. Okay, has anybody got a different answer than what I got? Because let's type this one in and see if we get the same thing. Because we're using the same formula. 3 times 124,788. 124,788 equals, divided by 4 second function pi, Wait a minute. Put parentheses in there. No, I'm not going to put parentheses because I want to see if I get the wrong answer. I believe that's why. Divided by 4 pi, and then raise that to the 1/3 power. I believe that's the problem. Yep. No, what'd they get?
You gotta click again.
Yep, that's it. What's happening is the calculator is not picking up. It's dividing this by 4 and then multiplying by pi. That's what it's doing. So you have to, this is what you have to do. You have to, let's go back to our problem. Close. Where's our problem? Here it is. Take, I'm trying to hurry, y'all. That's why it's so aggravating when I'm trying to think. All right, so take 3 times 65,450. 65,450 equals, divided by parentheses, now put 4 times second pi, close parentheses, and then raise that to the 1/3 power. 1 divided by 3. There it is. The calculator was dividing the answer by 4 and then multiplying it by pi. You see what's happened? So you have to put parentheses around the 4 pi so it doesn't do that. And that's why you get 25. So that's probably what you were doing wrong. That's why you couldn't get the right answer. Okay? All right. As far as the homework go, I'll extend it a couple of days, but that's all I'm going to extend it. Well, I did do it late, so
That's all we need.
All right, will do.
I got a term paper that's 15 pages I got due on Tuesday. And
all right, well,
I had those
go
2
ahead and
extra.
work on the, if you don't want to work on the test, we will do a review Monday, okay?
Okay.
If you want to wait till Monday. I'll see y'all later. Y'all get out of here.
So homework will be due, do you know, roughly?
Probably next week, if not later. I don't know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
see
you.
y'all. Those that have questions, stay after class.